Good evening, all. Welcome to tonight's special puja that we are holding. You can hear me okay? Good. So on behalf of the Tibetan Buddhist Society of Canberra, thank you so much for attending this evening. It's nice to have you here in person. We have a lot of members from many places and also, of course, online on Zoom. Welcome, everyone. So tonight is not only a super full moon, but the triple sacred day of the 2565th year anniversary of the Buddha's birth, Enlightenment, and Majaparinirvana. Tonight we have some guests that we would like to welcome. Mr. Karma Sangye, the new representative of His Holiness the Dalai Lama in Australia. And also, of course, the staff from the Tibet Information Office joining us here tonight as well. And also Mr. Tenzing Phuntsok, the newly elected member of the Tibetan Parliament in exile, and Mr. Lopon Nyowang Dorje, who I'm sure you will all meet. Thank you so much for coming along to join us tonight. Also tonight we have members of the ACT Tibetan community, members of the Bhutanese practice group, and they're here with their trumpets and drums and cymbals to join with the 16 ARHAT Puja. Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, many of you are joining via Zoom, as I mentioned, from all parts of Australia, and of course many of you do every Wednesday night here for Nondro and Avakuliteshvara practice, which we hold, and you're all welcome to attend any time. So thank you for participating. I'll put you through to Rinpoche now, but after the session, everyone is invited and welcome to stay after the puja for delicious soup, and this was prepared by Catherine and Kath. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Lydia. Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me? Oh, good. Can you all hear? I'm sure all the people can hear because we are in a very cozy and very close. And not really worry about social distancing anymore. Just had enough of it. But we people are still a little bit hesitant to come in person. You can see, usually it would be packed, but we have actually packed audience on the Zoom as well. So I would like to welcome you all, particularly acknowledge our very triple sacred day and night. And in fact, in Tibetan Buddhist calendar, whole month is month of 100,000 merits if you do so by recollecting the infinite qualities of the enlightened virtues of the Buddha. I think the Tibetan people would have been probably forgotten if it wasn't their faith in Buddha Dharma. So even though we are completely displaced, but the fact that we are identifiable in the globe is because we have a living Buddha like His Holiness Dalai Lama, who is actually championing the very promotion of Buddhism and peace and harmony and one world as humanity. So we have very good reason to celebrate that Buddhism is not just 2,500 years ago. It has a very living embodiment of this is in many Asian Buddhist countries, but Tibetan Buddhism has, I suppose, we are very privileged to have someone like him who has been championing and spreading the message of peace and compassion by His Holiness' amazing selfless work. Particularly since he and his people were forced to come into exile. I will like to say a little bit about the importance of the VAISAKH, particularly, and then I would like to invite Karma Singhala to speak a few words because he has been in the position only recent months, and so it is very auspicious that he is able to be here on this auspicious celebration. This kind of celebration should really feature much more strongly than Buddhist people around the world are doing. Everybody, due to their ethnicity and culture and different calendrical system, has been fragmented in not really honoring the Buddha's triple sacred day in the way they should. Every other religious people, be they Muslims or Hindus, Jewish or Christian, they very willingly take day off. And commit to practice, celebrate in a very big way so that they don't lose their culture. The Buddhist has been anyways very backseat, always ignoring their importance and not even tell the workplace, look, can I take day off because today is Buddha's birthday? If you say that, they will say, oh, you sure should. But nobody does that. So it's neither here nor there, People try to fit in on Sundays, nearest Sunday, before or after, and actual day is often ignored. So I think I just saw a memo circular from Tibetan Kashak cabinet today that Tibetan government in exile, I'm sure Kamala would say very much about that is encouraging the Tibetan Buddhists to honor the international VAISAKH day, which is full moon in May, which is honored and celebrated by most Buddhists, but still not everybody together. But at least the United Nations and the 2500th anniversary Buddha's anniversary, triple sacred anniversary, was celebrated in India, 1956. So internationally. And even countries, those who participate in that invitation by India, after many years of under British suppression, India got independence of 1947 and celebrated the 2500th Buddha's anniversary in a big way and invited many countries to participate. And that includes many non-Buddhist countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, very strong Islam countries. They also joined and they also signed an agreement to celebrate VAISAKH and give VAISAKH a public holiday. So international community did take initiative as early as 1956, but people still are ethnically or culturally not quite doing their own thing and not really to the Buddhist thing in a big way. So I think I was I'm among the few individuals who wish that we as a Tibetan also embrace that rather than having our own little calendrical system, which we can still keep, but just to make an international boosting of the universal importance of the day of the VAISAKH, so that all Buddhists are not doing different days and then it doesn't get any prominence or recognition. We probably have a good case in Australia with a good 3% of Buddhist population to ask for people be allowed to have holiday on that day. But I don't think any initiatives are taken. So that's why it is important to, at least in the evening, people can work in the day, but evening there shouldn't be an excuse not to participate. But usually all such celebrations are done in a big ribbon cutting ceremonies. But this is a traditional prayer with the world very sorely needs in this terrible year that has beleaguered us in a many unimaginable setbacks and loss of life, and continue to lose life because of that. So we have reason to offer prayer for the deceased and offer prayer for the fulfillment of the wishes of the living masters and their own long life, as well as the spread of the teaching by us as individuals practicing and together in this way. So I would like to just thought of sharing one anecdotes about the birthday of the Buddha, as well as his enlightenment, as well as his passing away, all falling on the same day. I mean, can you believe it? Have you, let alone getting enlightenment, can you make sure that you also get enlightened on your birthday? And can you also make sure that you also pass away on the day you were born, on your own birthday? I don't think anybody has done that before. And not only that, I wanted to say about this. The night that Buddha got enlightened is a full moon in May, 2,600, 565 years ago. And that very night, also there was a super full moon lunar eclipse. And that lunar eclipse is on that very night, Buddha's son, Rahula, was born. He was named after the eclipse. Rahula, Not only that, his cousin, very famous cousin, Ananda, was also born on the same night. So, because, and of course there were many other such stories. Later on, the family gave the Yashodhara, who's been bearing Buddha's child for 6 years, more than 6 years since he left, and she had a very overdue baby, overly overdue baby. Instead of giving born in 9+ months, she wasn't giving birth. Now, not many Buddhists know these stories, And so Yashodhara was so distraught by being deserted by her husband, and being disbelieved by her father-in-law, saying it can't be my son's son to you, because that was a long time ago. And she said, no, I'm still pregnant. I have the baby of the Buddha, of course. And anyway, so the whole town or city of the people of Kapilavastu was very depressed, but for all those years. But night when Yashodhara gave birth to Rahula, only thing they could do is they can name the son after the eclipse, Rahula. And then another thing is that and the other family, the Buddha's uncle's family, the cousin, Ananda was born on that very night. And they were so sad for all these years, but when this boy was born, they were all very happy. So they gave him Ananda. Ananda means everybody is joyful. Kungawo. Kungawo means everybody become happy, because at least they have no longer any sorrow. And so these three peoples, Buddha's enlightenment and passing away and birthday, as well as his son, as well as his cousin, all same birthday. So there is something about super full moon and a particular lunar eclipse. So watch out what's going to happen to you tonight. So any expecting young mothers have a good chance. There's a lot of lunar energy. Lunar energy can be very, very high in Tibetan Buddhism, and also teach that woman only can conceive the baby, even though she really is very fertile, only when her correct phase of the moon is right to be able to conceive baby. So here we're talking about not conceiving baby, but we're talking conceiving the Buddha's teaching, conceiving the altruistic and compassion teachings of the Buddha. We renew our vows, refuge, and faith, and devotion, and friendship, and fellowship that we all have. So it's very nice to have everybody come together here tonight, assemble like this. So now I will first like to invite Mr. Kama Singala to say a few words. I think it would be best if you would stand up here, and so that everybody can see. Thank you very much, Kama Singala. And I got your little mic here.
So first of all, I would like to offer my greetings to Lama and all the people who are participating in this very auspicious occasion. And I would like to apologize, Lama, that I could not attend this morning ceremony at his retreat, because in the morning I had a meeting with some of the parliamentarians at the Parliament House. That was also very important, I being the representative of His Holiness Dalai Lama and also the Central Tibetan Administration. So I would like to share a few things that I just had this morning with the Parliament people, because Australia it has been very helpful, very helping for the Tibetans for the last so many years, and the Australian Parliament's members also, they have been very actively raising their voice for the human rights violation in Tibet, and also they have been supporting for the peaceful resolution of the Tibetan issue. So I just told them this morning that those who support Tibetan issue, they are not just pro-Tibetan. Rather, we consider them as pro-justice, because Tibet cause is a just cause which is based on truth and reality. So any persons who support the Tibetan cause, we consider them as pro-justice. They are not anti-Chinese. So this is what I told the parliamentarians this morning. And also, as a representative of His Holiness Dalai Lama, one of my main responsibility is to work for the promotion of His Holiness Dalai Lama's three main principal commitments. That is promotion of human values, promotion of religious harmony, and preservation of Tibetan culture and religion. So we are very lucky and very fortunate that we are celebrating this auspicious occasion in a free world, whereas in Tibet, inside Tibet, they have no freedom of religion. They can't celebrate this kind of occasion like us. There was a report a few days back that Tibetan in Lhasa, actually this is a very holy month, everybody, they wants to go to the monastery, they want to practice their religion, but they have put a huge restriction in Lhasa. The reason they said that you should not go to the monastery, you should not gather in a huge public gathering should not be there, because the reason they have given is that there is a risk of separating this virus, COVID virus, whereas on the other hand, they have not put any restriction for the tourists. A lot of tourists are coming and going there. So this is kind of things there. So in Tibet, even His Holiness Dalai Lama's photo is also banned. So we can't imagine a sort of government taking such a crucial things, So we cannot even have our guru's photos in our home. So this kind of restriction and operations are going inside Tibet. But in the free world, we are very, fortunate that we can practice Lord Buddha's teaching. We can, study Lord Buddha's teaching. So it is very fortunate. So in front of the Lama, I should not be talking so much on the Buddhist teachings, but I feel it is my sort of duty that I should express something about Tibet. So those who are in the Buddhist centers also. So in a way, you are also helping the Tibetan culture and Tibetan tradition, because Tibet issue is very much related to the Tibetan culture and religion. So without sort of the Tibetan culture and tradition, it has a lot of potential to contribute to the world peace. And so I think your support for the Tibet cause and your sort of practice in the Buddhist teaching is also in a way supporting for the preservation of Tibetan culture and tradition. So with this note, I would like to thank Lama La and all the participants here for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kongala. We say Kongala in Tibetan. Kongala means your real presence. Real presence, because this Kongalas mostly represent His Holiness Dalai Lama, so we have very high regard for the office, and because His Holiness is even when he's very fit and able to travel, he still have representative who stand in for them, particularly when he's not able to travel due to this kind of situation. Of course, we rely totally to the existence of the representative. So please, if you have anything that you wanted to, I suppose, do or contribute or interest in Tibet related, the offices are based here in Canberra. It's called Tibet Information Office. It's got a very noticeable website, so you can't miss. So with that, just before we do the actual puja, we have very big participation from all over Australia and overseas in the Zoom audience, and we have invited everybody to reflect a few moments and why they are Buddhist and what makes Buddha's teaching so relevant in their lives. And of course, we don't have time to give everybody the chance to say, but we ask all our sister centers around the country and New Zealand to say a few words. And I think the big screen is outside, so people can't see when you speak. Unfortunately, but anyway, you will all hear a few words that our friends are going to share. But if you're really interested to see the speaker, please go down there. You will see a big picture on the screen. I'm just joking. So of course here we are. Anyway, so I will invite. First of all, I think those people who've indicated me. So therefore, obviously, I can go looking at the screen here and then straight away ask. Firstly, I would like to invite Peter Lanny from Padma Buddhist Center up in Hervey Bay to say a few words. As many of us know, Peter has been long Buddhist, but please say a few relevant words about the importance of the Buddha and remembering, celebrating his birth, enlightenment, and parinirvana with everyone here today. Thank you, Peter. Can you unmute and over to you?
Thank you very much, Mr. Jenny. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Thank you. I'm sitting here with the president of Padma Buddhist Center in the Padma Shrine Room, which Lama Choedak has consecrated some years ago. Last year we had a visit from Lama Choedak, and it's been a great theme to have seen Zoom each time. So, how I came to Buddhism, I was looking for spirituality at the age of 70 years. I've been agnostic. And a friend of mine had become a Zen Buddhist in America. So I came back and I joined the Padma Buddhist Center when I moved here 17 years ago. And it's been a really change of life for me, being able to participate with the other members of Padma and with Lama Choedak, both with these visits and also with Zoom teachings, which I'm very grateful for. So I'm very grateful to be able to be the first speaker tonight. I'm probably the oldest speaker, who's raising 89, but I intend to study and practicing Buddhism, and I'm very pleased to say that I'm now really aware of the importance of VAISAKH and Sakyadhara. It's my pleasure to lead off in this instruction. So thank you very much, Choedak and Padma, and I'll be back.
Thank you, Peter. Over to New Zealand, we have Punsok Churling down in Napier. So I can see everybody gathering in the Gompa. I think Wolfgang is going to say a few words. Wolfgang, please go ahead. Your turn.
Hello and greetings from here from the other side of the ditch. we already had started our celebration a little bit earlier, seeing the time difference, and so we had all the prayers already here. But on a personal level, I want to say that I was invited by my wife to come over to Australia for her to go to a retreat at the Siva Center in 2009, and actually I shared a room with Peter at the time.
Thank you, Wolfgang. That's very nicely put. Thank you. Thank you for joining again, even though you did finish your puja again. So I suppose we call more the merrier. Can't be more the merrier than any day today. And now I would like to invite Ananda Buddhist Center up in Rockhampton. Has a beautiful gompa and a very strong sangha. I'm actually visiting there this coming weekend, but here you are joining us here. Maybe I don't need to come up. Is it Alison or it is Alison who's going to speak? Yeah, okay. Please go ahead, Alison. You're a very regular practitioner, so nice to have you back. Thank you. Please leave yourself long. I probably lived long enough already. Sorry, thank you. Okay, thank you. Now I would like to invite from Thalam Buddhist Center in Townsville. Is it Phil or Renee? I lost who will say. I wasn't sure who was going to speak. So because both of you are there, please go ahead, whoever.
Yes, Rinpoche, so thank you everyone for this, thank you for organising this.
Thank you for Phil is in a very active writers group. When I first met him, I don't know whether how active writer is, but you can still see his pen is still moving. Okay, thank you. Now I'd like to invite Ben from Manjushri Buddhist Center down in Milton, Alladalla. The whole Sangha meeting in the Gompa, I can see they have a very big active Sangha. Ben, how are you? Please go ahead.
Hello everyone.
Thank you very much. If I'm not wrong, I think Rosemary has indicated she will say a few words. She's from Adelaide, the group down there. Please go ahead, Rosemary. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Comes to mind is change. How much my life has changed. Through teaching and practice over time, I've learned to see how I've contributed to the problems that I've found myself in earlier times. Most importantly, that seeing has allowed me to mend and deepen relationships with family and friends in ways that I couldn't have imagined. And it's brought joys that I've not known before. Now as old age settles in, the challenge to me is
Thank you, Rosemary. I think you have struck a chord with quite a lot of people there. Thank you. I can't actually recall who has said, responded to say they will say, but there are still few people I can recognize. I will invite them. One is Robin from Rongton Buddhist Center in Brisbane. Please go ahead, Robin. Please, you are eloquent enough to say a few words on this special occasion. Thank you, Robin. I would like to invite Moira, such a very old Dharma practitioner and fellowship down in Melbourne. Please go ahead. I'm sure you have something important to share on this special occasion. Thank you, Moira. I would like to invite Petra from Sydney, Sakya Dolma Choling. I'm sure you're such a consistent practitioner. You would like to share a few words. Unmute yourself. Yeah, that's very important. I can see your lips moving, but nothing audible.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
you. I think we will now conclude with that because even though there are very many of you I could call upon, but I think we do the puja, then we are all voicing together our collective devotion, refuge, and faith in the teachings, and not only what Buddha taught, but the living tradition that today stays very strong. And I could say very proudly that as a Tibetan, we wouldn't be a strong advocate of Buddhism today if we don't have likes of His Holiness Dalai Lama's advocacy in the world as a champion of peace and great promoter of interreligious and human harmony. So it's important to put aside the cultural kind of identity, but try to unite everybody under the same vision to promote peace and harmony in one human world. And Buddha's teaching is such a truth that anybody who get to hear it will always relate to it. Even Christians says they have found better Christian in a Buddhist than themselves when they hear Buddhism. They don't say, "Oh, you're a good Buddhist," but they say, "Oh, you're really good Christian." So it's interesting they say that because they also believe this is exactly what the Christ teaching is amounts to. Of course, if we can promote that kind of oneness, and that's exactly what His Holiness Dalai Lama is spearheading, that world need to come together and not becoming segregated by minor differences. So we are very committed to promote His Holiness' work and teachings. So I'm glad tonight we are offer this prayer for long life of His Holiness and all other teachers and the spread of the teachings and all our work together. So with this, now I would like to invite you all to join with the prayers that you should have a copy of 16 ARHAT Puja in the middle of your text. I don't think it's page numbered, but it's page 25 if you can find. We are going to do this practice in Tibetan tonight, which we don't get to do much often because we do mostly in English because of the majority here. Tonight we got. But you have the translation next to it, so you shouldn't lose your way together. So they are indicated something. Some of them we have to do 3 times. Others all done in once. So starting with refuge and 4 immeasurables, and then invocation of the name of the 16 ARHATs. 16 ARHATs are the direct disciples of Buddha, one of whom is his own son Rahula. And these 16,400 ARHATs were assigned as ambassador of Dharma by the Buddha, asking the ARHAT not to pass away into Nirvana as they usually do, but instead remain as the Dharma guardians in the world. And it is advocated and practiced by all traditions. On the full moon day, whenever they celebrate Buddha's big day, they always do this Necho, 16 ARHAT. This is different, no different between any tradition. From the Nyingmas, the Kagyu, Sakya, everybody does that. So I've been always promoting that instead of doing some uniquely special lineage-centric practices. I've been promoting the 16 ARHAT Puja, rightly so. So here we go. It doesn't take very long, but it can be combined as a prayer and a meditation, recollection. If you can't really join verbally because of the foreign language, you can just tune in a meditation, the words in a best possible way. There are lots of people doing this prayer today around the world, and particularly around this time because in India and Nepal and that Indian subcontinent, they'll be doing this practice in a big way. So we're joining many, many millions of people and rejoicing and enlivening our refuge in the Triple Gem. So thank you, everyone. Sanje jadan zoje jona la janje bada dane jazoje Dage Jinso Jibe Sunanje Rola Benje Sanje Robara Jo Sanje Jodan Zoje Jonala Chanjo Bardo Dane Jazunje Dage Jinso Jibe Sunanje Rola Benje Sanje Robara Jo Sanje Jodan Zoje Jonala Chanjo Bardo Dane Jazunje Dage Jinso Jibe Sunanje Rola Benje Sanje Robara Jo Semje Damje Dewadan Deve Judan Dembara Juje Donga Da Donga Je Judan Drawara Juje Donga Mebe Dewada Me Drawa Juje Nyere Chadan Dan Drave Tanya La Nebara Juje Semje Damje Dewada Deve Judan Dembara Juje Donga Da Donga Je Judan Drawara Juje Donga Mebe Dewada Me Drawa Juje Nyere Chadan Dan Drave Tanya La Neba Juje. So the third one we will do in English. Happiness, happiness, and the cause of happiness, may they be free from suffering, and the cause of suffering, may they never from the happiness that no suffering may dwell equanimity, free from attachment and aversion to the net and far. Yavne Ganjo Sun Je Den Bada Yawa Seche Nam Je Che La Da So Nying A Da Che Ye Da Do Je Ne Je De Che Shen Ge Ge Be Ye Zhe Ne Wu Xia Me Kan Zhe Mo Ren Zhe Sen Zhe Pen De Den Zhe Da Nge Xia Sun Re Me Do Ye Zhe Be Che Zhen Jia Zu Kan Xin Zhe Ju Zhe Namo Ramanda Namo Bhagavate Sara Brahmana Tatanga Daya Mambo Chidan Mambo Samgamana de dara nyare jen je jebe je 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 zo yembe sa je ren je le jo jo je go je ba pe ma nyen de yembe de do to je ze be de jen de ja na la la gen zen zhe wen ge de ba zhe da ne de zhen bo na ba ne de xie su su che zhe jia wa se zhe tam zhe da xie ra men ba niu mo ce ge zhe nan zhe se na xian de ga de ba che zhe nian de gen de xiu zo ze yan zhe zhe be ne se zhen zhen ye zhe wei den zhe zhe jie xie su su zhe wen gong bo xia jia sen ge ye san ye den ba kan ge cha du xia su ra ren zhe zhe man ye ka zhe be che jian zha zhe qian bo xiu zo za tan zhe bei wei le de zhen zhen ye zhe wei den zhe zhe jie xie su su te bei ga ge den bei jian zhen zhen ye lan zhong da ma na na tuen den da ra je mo wo sang bo da se ben ba ra duan za se re je jo pa ba pa ge la da zha zhen ze lan zhen ba ra duan za se nya le lan de le de be de me je ba zha zhe ne de zhen bo de da ni se na ren zhe zhen du zhen zhen ye zhe wei den zhe zhe jie xie su su han da ye xie pen zuo san ye jia de jia wan ke nian de zhen zhen ba jie ba ra jian ye zhe le zhe yong wei ne de zhe zhen de le zhen de la xiu de xie ga lu zuo ren zi den ba song ran de da ra ne ka ra wei na za du xian de le zi ne de zhe zhe bo dan zhe ye tuo zhe wan ge ne de le zhe ge ne jia so den be zi den ba guan zhou sun jie xia wan zhi qi zo za sun na ren zhe jian du zhen zhen ye ra wei den zhe zhe jie ye zu su da chu chun je de na tu su je ba me sing da ge ma le de da dan je la le da nga ye da we ja je song bo je be me la da da ge ja wa dam je ye je ng sun xin ge de nie le ra de ba ye ja wa kun la ra do jiang za nu je de na de nie zang je na zang je ze je wo na ju ba de da chi ye ye na ma le ba dam je ja wa da ge ga wa de da ba me ze ja zo na yang je yang la ja zo de ge ja wa gen je ham je da ge me da ve me ngo je se je do je ze ve go xia zhi zha ni jie zhuo zhuo sa ne nya xian ze jia ze la me gu ze dian ba da dian ba jie ba rai xin jie lo kan ri chen bo die ze na pa be ne de ye la ju da zha dong da sum je go ba ba rang a ya zen za za la me gu ze dian ba da dian ba jie ba rai xin jie lo sha zong re ye xie na na pa be ne de me ban ba zha zhen ya zha ji ke go xia ni nya ma xian ze jia za la me gu ze dian ba da dian ba jie ba rai xin jie lo lo ma de be re po na pa be ne de na na ne da zheng dong da xi jie go die zeng a yan zen jia za la me gu ze dian ba da dian ba jie ba rai xin jie lo zang bu len ge sa le na pa be ne de dun de ne da zheng dong da nga jie go se jie na go ran zen jia za la me gu ze dian ba da dian ba jie ba rai xin jie lo xin ga le ye le na ne ne den do ra jie ma ye bo da zhang zhang bo ge ge go ye zeng a yan zen jia za la me gu ze dian ba da dian ba jie ba rai xin jie lo ya mona le na ya be ne de sang bo ne ra zhe dong da ni ye go she je nya ma shan ze ja za la me ge ze den ba da den ba ye ba ra chen ye la ne jo ka je yu na ne pa be ne de se re be wo da zhe zhe mo nga ye go ren zhen xia ban ze jia za la me ge ze dian ba da dian ba ye ba ra chen ye lo ne ye ba la zhe na ne ba ra duan za se re zhen la da zhen zhen bo din ye go cha ni nya ma xian ze jia za la me ge ze dian ba dang a ye ba ra chen ye lo chang ge da ne den ba ge la da zhen zhen bo ge ye go cha ni niu len zhen jia za la me ge ze den ba da den ba ye ba ra chen ye lo zhe yang ge ye le na ne ba be ne den zha zhen zhen zha zheng dong da xie ye go ren zhen zhe xun zhen jia za me ge ze dian ba da dian ba ye ba ra chen ye lo cha ge pong be re wo la ba be ne de lam zhen de zha zheng dong da zhu ye go cha ni nyam xian ze jia za la me ge ze dian ba da dian ba ye ba ra chen ye lo xia ye le ba le na ne ba ra duan za su nian le zha zheng dong zha ji ge go le ba long zhen zhen jia za la me ge ze dian ba da dian ba ye ba ra chen ye lo la ne zong ju za su na pa be ne de lan de ne zha zheng zhen bo ge ye go zhe zhe le ban zhen jia za la me ge ze dian ba da dian ba ye ba ra chen ye lo re ye jia bo nge ya la pa be ne de lu ye de da zheng dong da ni ye go pe ma ka ra zhen zhen jia za la me ge ze dian ba da dian ba ye ba ra chen ye lo re ye jia bo me wo la pa be ne den be zhe ne da zheng dong da xi ye go cha ni le ban zhen jia za la me ge ze dian ba da dian ba ye ba chen ye lo re ye jia bo kan zhen la pa be ne de me zhe ba zha zheng dong zha ji ge go chan zhe zhe den zhen jia za la me ge ze dian ba da dian ba ye ba ra chen ye lo pa be ge nian da ra ma da ra be de zhen le ban go nan de dun ye ka la ze ma ya pong ban zhen jia za la me ge ze dian ba da dian ba ye ba ra chen ye lo han be ge ge de da zhe zan ye dian ba Medo damba jinwa damba da zenye namda juba dujat marme joda endobe damba ye jawa teda lane juba naza damba namda jeja da jema bumarera nyamba geba jebra babe jogen je jawa teda lane juba geba gana lame jajewa teda jawa danje layan Sambo jala debe dada ge jawa gun la janja. benzen böme a je yonzo daba wanjen seje sai benzerege a je jarengo yoge gurgavuzo re javare raja le babo lan jambut no balanje chan jamenye le da le ba ngaya da ngaya je yenden da lamjon jamenye jen da Rinpoche re wa bazan je denje ya ba ma mumba ya la da kolo Rinpoche no Rinpoche zumo Rinpoche lambo Rinpoche langbo Rinpoche daja Rinpoche ma Rinpoche tere jimbo ye bumba gewa ma Tenwa ma lu ma gara ma dupu medo ma marme ma jija ma nye ma dawa Rinpoche chole nambre jeve janzen la da mi benjo buzunzo ma zangwa me bandi ni rinjen tuwa ni ten chu chu jin kordan jeva no da jembe sotan jeba na la mbobar jevo tu jen jeve den tu jesu yene jenje la do zo omangoro buddha bodhisattva Zabareva Anamendala Buzameng Samunda Zabaran Zamaya Jenga Nambaraya Tabande Vejere Jare Rala Lenjenda Yangayeje Nyema Endave Korovaje Lamia Lonja Benzanza Yazerenje Nambadu Denja Bada Bazaje Mame Lodo Zedang Rezalanje Zamejang Bosan La Janamba Lama Sanje Nam Lambu Zobe Sanje Toba Jo Omoenguru Buddha Bodhisattva Zabarev Renamendala Bunza Menga Samunda Zabar Samaya Kange xian gan jia zi ya zhen de nie na zi che bie zhen bo ge na ba yen be yen jie se zhou zhe zhe wei jie zai mo jia zi ye de jie zhan ye ren jie be mo ren jie wei jie ge ne ye be nian bo la da me ye de ye men de ge ben jiu jie wa zha jia la ne ba kun de zang ba nan zhe jie jie zhe zhe ge wei san jie zhe bei zhe zhen de che ye jie jie na ge gang ge la jia jie san jie yan da jie se ba na ba ne ne che jie jia bo jia wa jia se ran jia ra le nam jia we ge ne ge we yan go ge de nam ba zhe be zhe ba gen jie nie jiu zhe de ne zhan zhu nian ba ba da ge le da lon zhe da de zhen ge wen ba na sen jie gen jie de jie zhe ge bei jie la bo wa jie ge ne ze bei zhen de ba ye ne dang ba jie na ma jie da lai zhe wa nie guan de da gen de da xie su su xie ne zhen jie da du de zha zhe da de mo wang ge ne le da nga da de je ye je de ba da ge je wa je je wa de da dam je da ge zo zo zhou zhe jia wa gun da zang jie ze ran jia nan da lo da me la zhou wa gun jie ze nan ga la ya de da gun jie je zo da ye ka na zhou jun jie de zhe ma na jiang jie ren ba zang jie ma jie gong bo de da da ge dam jie la ko la la na me ba ge wa nyang en da dun ga jie de da la zhou wa gun la bin jin de wei ga wa xin ge de ni xiu ba yan da ge da mo ra jia za wa jiang za wa dan zhi jin xia wa dan zhi zi ye ran ge yin za ye wa jun se da ge jie za tam jie zhou be jiang zhi je je zenem bud to dang waraju ta dia da mone mone ma mone sha ja mone zo ta dia da mone mone ma mone sha ja mone zo ta dia da mone mone ma mone sha ja mone zo ta dia da mone mone ma mone sha ja mone zo ta dia da mone mone ma mone sha ja mone zo ta dia da mone mone ma mone sha ja mone zo ta dia da mone mone ma mone sha ja mone zo ta dia da mone mone ma mone sha ja mone zo ta dia da mone mone ma mone sha ja mone zo ta dia da mone mone ma mone sha ja mone zo ta dia da mone mone ma mone sha ja mone zo ta dia da mone mone ma mone sha ja mone zo ta dia da mone mone ma mone sha ja mone zo ta dia da mone mone ma mone sha ja mone zo ta dia da mone mone ma mone sha ja mone zo ta dia da mone mone ma mone sha ja mone zo ta Tadyada Amune Mune Mahamune Shakyamune Azo 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 Om Mune Mune Mahamune Sanje Jeva Jaja Ba Be Zu Jave tun tu tian bai jun zi be kun jia se nge ne de zhe zhe ge tian bai yu re ne ba rai jin jie lu tu jie da nie ne de zhe zhe ge ko la zi xie zi ye gai niu mo me che dai zhe du xie jie zi nan ye tian ba yu re ne ba rai jin jie lu sem jie gen jie se jie re zha zhen ba re dai xia wan de jie gue jie ne zhe pa bie ga sa qian bo zo nan ye tian ba yu re ne ba rai jin jie lu da xin ge we za wen de ye ne ban de zhu ne tian ba bie ju ji dong ai gen zhu ma le ra ba ne xie be jia zu niu de gen ba zhu se nan jia zu yu zu zu jie jie ye xie jia zu nan bo da ju ne me lan jia zu ma le yan zu ne le zhen gen le jie ba ra ba ba zhu zuo nie da ra jie de sen jia wa ye zhe le zhe jie yuan de nam ye me ga ba nian bian de jia men ze ba nya me la ma chuo ge zha ji zhou de sen jia wa se jie tu jie ye nian de zi so xie ba jie xie ba dian ba jiu xian zhe wei ten zi ba ne de jian bo nan ye zha xi xiu sa jin jia jie xie ba bo yuan ge sun tan pa jie bo qie me san da nan de se jia jie xie ye zha xi xiu pen dian zhong wei ne jie bo dian ba yu re ne ba dang dian jin ye wu dan ba na gu zi jian zi dian yu zhi dian ba jie de kan su chen ba dang dian ba nie wu xian du sa wa dang dian jin bu lo gen jin dun ba ye dian ba yu re ne be zha xi So the final piece of prayer we will do is on page 22. This is prayer we will do in English, prayer for the happiness of all that lives. Please join us. Precious teachings of the unknowing, others who give it to Jehovah, enjoy your times and blessed, may this very flourish everywhere. Hope and love, wisdom and compassion, holding teaching, direct and dead. Peerless Guru, so Vijapa, may the little, may the number, showing Vijapa to living, be practicing and teaching, may the pious Sangha simple, may the ever flourish everywhere. Whoever in his age, people cannot do. May the Father feel mutual life, may the balance of the Terra Galats of by waving as a gender preserve. May the city fill with the four cotton cause of pressures. Lightning as a glass as a gobble, pico transmission apple. Slowly falling shells of gender, so the joyfulness of living. Made of flock as a kind of hair, very hurts and cook of it. People singing less of greater joy, may a better convey. Ravala Gava, Bezava, Subject, the ruler, studies within Adele, Meda Golden Edge, Jared, Holy Statues of the Congora, and the Damascus Grazes, Panaclaza over in Deva, Zemba Bandages offer, Damagad and Kazasavara, Bafando, the Monas, spending time to teach the bear, I made the chanting and the practice, Neve Bella Nove Manzana, holding pills, listening to meditating was with the teachings of the Sugata. Those who practice of destruction shall enter with you. Vidya in a beautiful play, with the spiritual. We are subject as worship, we are practicing of good. Maybe we shall only live in the law of God within the monk. Give more contributions, meditation with answer. We perfect the Buddha with the way, made the values of the business. Gives the God a quarter throne to say what the Dhamma is the proper. Interest of another power may increase other benefit. Clearing all the Dhamma's interest, then perfecting every again book. Anyway, the message which is engaged as well. By the Guru mercy and grace, by the truth of such as a month. And thus all beyond the supplication people. Glorious master of the Lord, of the Maya and Jinjin. Kunga Jensen King of Transave, may your blessings ever monge. Lama be bandita, wasn't Bobo Holy Manji. Second Buddha glorious Ayaba, may your teachings ever monge. O this goes of the Gongora, Geda in a body dorjes. Kunga Zambo Buddha's prophecy, may your teachings ever monge. Glorious Agas and Zanga Aras and Lago Jomer. Vezadama action flood the void, touching cities of the year. Yagaro Mambareme, Shera Zambo Sava, Zonga Gara, those who hold the day, may your teaching flourish. Buddha regions are Yamanjushi, with the lion or a brother. Kreza has the elephants and for Koran teaching Bezari. Merely calling his presence to my inner outer. Ekjovajadara Lozaba, may your teaching flourish. But the sage coming to the world, but the teaching shining ladders. Sangha in Tisaba in a go, may the daughter of Monge. May the teaching and the teacher, those who hold the teaching further. May the power and sponsor go, may the daughter of Monge. May the Rutilini Guru Gray, may the blessings of the Tibet. May the Dhamma Gandhi Bamba in a go with Dhamma Grande prayers. So that concludes our 16th Ara Puja to honor and celebrate and remember and renew our refuge in the Triple Gem and practice kindness in our everyday life by having the teaching in our life. I'm sure this is a very special occasion for most of you, particularly in this difficult time. We look deeper into the teachings and their relevance becomes even more valid. So I'm sure there are lots of things people have to turn their way than they have been choosing to. People may have delayed And this is an excellent month to make some amendments, make some reconciliation, whether it is your past or your mind or your perception or your opinions. The Sagadawa is named after the Sanskrit month called VAISAKH. So VAISAKH is just a name of a month, but it is no special month in the Indian calendar. But for the Buddhist, it is the month in which all those great activities occurred, but only if the Buddhist people took some steps to make changes in their own life, that they have long delayed or resented and continue to stay angry, and so one need to make peace. This is so unhealthy, and this is not living to hold such grudge and anger and over such issue. I am Buddhist, I have refuge, I must stop this ill will and resentment. And on this full moon, why is this lunar eclipse? The lunar eclipse doesn't happen unless there's a collective karma. Of course, it is said that if you were to make a vow in your mind, even in a small personal vow, to talk to your mother. Some people don't talk to mother. Some people have not talked to mother for 30 years. I've met many people. You wouldn't believe. This is so heartbreaking. For a Buddhist to have meditation and prayer, but still having a very strained relationship with your immediate family members like mother is very important. His Holiness Dalai Lama says, his mother taught him loving kindness. His teacher taught him scriptures, but not loving kindness, how you really do it, tender. So people who are not able to reconnect with their loved ones like such mother often carries these bruise and in their mind. So it's good to do puja like this, good to meet everyone like this. It's even better if you meet your past and make some reconciliation in the name of the Buddha and name of the teachings, and saying, I'm not going to think about him or her like this anymore. I'm actually going to think about them as someone worthy of my compassion, my forgiveness. It's due to my self-importance and arrogance that I carry this grudge. This is unhealthy. This is not living. This is cause of big high blood pressure. Lots of psychosomatic problems are caused by people's selfishness and childishness, not wanting to make any changes themselves. So VAISAKH is a good month. People take precepts. People fast. People give up eating meat. But that's fairly lip service, really. Even if you stop eating meat for a month, so what if you're still angry at your mother? So it's very, very pertinent. People need to make small, pertinent precepts. I think that Tibetan and Buddhist, I don't know, maybe we have brought up because meat eating is fairly strong. But giving up meat for 1 month is very special. But they have very good relationship, mother. They would never think of rebelling against their mother. So we have a very beautiful culture there, So it's very important to learn how to reconcile with the loved ones and try to tell them sorry and tell them thank you. And then it's much better than lighting many candles. Much better than doing many mantras. She will be happy that you've forgiven her, or you say thank you to her, apologize to her. So it's excellent night to call your mom if she's up. People have phone in their hand, but they're always checking, but never doing the main important thing, So it's a very excellent opportunity to thank you somebody or apologize somebody, and then the Dharma has truly soothed your mind, and we have truly remembered VAISAKH. We have truly done that. So I know you all do that, but I just can't help myself to see what can people get tonight by, what was that puja about? Because I can't follow that. They're all in Tibetan. The trumpet was interesting. People might think, how was that night like that? They may assess the evening like that, But it should be a bit more pertinent than that. By remembering the Buddha, I've made a little vow to, call somebody to forgive them and not to hold the wrong views, bad perception of them. And tomorrow I'll rise up different person. If you do that, then the Buddha will be smiling. Then his years of asceticism has paid price. And so with that, I would like to now conclude. Thank you very much for everybody's active participation. Please stay back to have some soup and meet each other. And for the Zoom audience, I'm sure you can wet your lips with some drinks and some eateries. Thank you very much, everybody. Take care. Nice to see you. Thank you. Don't you think the orchestra was